You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the BQN Podcast Collective. I'm your host for today, Chrissie, and joining me is my co-host, Thad. Thad, how are you doing today?
I keep jumping to what seems to be familiar but also strange versions of the things I know. It's kind of weird. How about you?
It is. It's that is very weird. I keep, I was trying to go to a different deck, and I ended up in this place with half-naked people and agonizers. They were right off screen, they were right out of view, but the half-naked people were definitely there, yeah.
So with Captain Tuvix.
Yeah. They did a nice job with the Mirror Universe stuff. We'll come back to that. Anyway, also joining us today is Donny Winter of Restitching the Tapestry and Growing Up with Godzilla. Donny, how are you doing today? Thanks for coming back to join us.
I'm great. I'm jealous of this universe you were in. When you mentioned half-naked people, I was all in.
Well, it's not always.
No, I did just come from Tuvix's universe, and the food was dreadful.
But was he half naked?
Thankfully, no.
Yeah, I think that might depend on whether there's more of the two or Vix there, two or Neelix.
To each their own.
That didn't really work out the way I was trying to say it. I was trying to say Tim Russ isn't bad looking.
Tim Russ is extremely attractive. I totally agree with you.
Anyway,
I mean, he's pretty good looking today, even as he's got that silver fox Vulcan going on now.
I know.
For sure. Yeah. Yes, Vulcan Talaxian cuisine. It's like, okay. I mean, at least you're basing it in Leola roots, so it's vegetarian already. So before we start with our topic for the day, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make this show possible, particularly our associate producers, Carl Wonders. Listeners, you can hear your name listed here as one of our associate producers for a monthly subscription of just $10 at patreon.com/BQN. And with a monthly Patreon subscription of just $5 or more, you can join our BQN Star Trek script table reads. I think there's going to be one of those coming up in the next few weeks. So watch your Patreon messages for information on this and other fun opportunities with your collective. I also think they're doing a round of the equivalent of Let's Fly for Prodigy too. So if people want to get in and discuss that, good time to become a patron.
Yeah, and become our associate producer. Carl's kind of lonely there.
We're both, and there's always more room for associate producers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, little bit of news. We'll start with the more straightforward one, which is that James Sicking, the guy who played Captain Styles, Captain How Do You Have a Yellow Alert in Space Dock, he has died at the age of 90. So, as Greg Group says,
Kirk, you do this, you'll never sit in the captain's chair again.
And he was not correct on that.
No.
Very incorrect.
He did have many other roles, but that was his only Star Trek role.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say 90 is a good run.
Yeah. I hope I get that age and functional too, I guess,
And he had such an interesting role too. Like I felt like I feel like his character is very memorable. Like he got some really good lines in. Like it was great.
He had that swagger stick he carried around for no reason that I think is explained in the novel, and I can't remember why. But
I don't think any other captain has had a stick that I can recall.
Not like no.
It is. It's a thing. It was a thing from the British military. Officers would carry their swagger stick. There is actually a U.S. version. Like you can. as an American Army officer, you can carry a swagger stick. Although, from my understanding from talking to people who are, I know in the military, if you do, everyone will think you're a complete douchebag.
Which is how Styles was being presented, so it was perfect. I have to wonder if the person who added that for him as part of the character was aware of that or had
Probably.
experienced that or something. Yeah. But yes, he was in a lot of other things. Yeah.
He also had that
Which I didn't write
absurdly
down.
large nail file in the movie.
That was a emery board. I mean, I know that's a nail file, but it
Yeah,
had the
but it was
soft
still-
side and the
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was still ridiculously huge. Like, it was
okay.
it was like futuristic and like fancy, and it's like, but you could have just had a emery board, which would have been like a quarter the size of that.
I guess I didn't notice that it was a futuristic one. Okay, all right. Well, that's all right. Also, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. So this was listeners, we are recording this on Monday the 15th, and well, it was not a great weekend for losing actors and actresses. It was just kind of like,
yeah,
wow.
It was rough. It
Yeah.
was very rough.
Everything happens in threes.
But this time it happened in like a 6. It was like Shelley Duvall, Shannon
Yep.
Doherty. Shannon Doherty wrecked me.
yeah.
I saw you did a video. I haven't watched it yet, but
Also,
yeah.
finding out, because I didn't know this, that
Mhm.
the reason Shannon Doherty died is because she didn't have health insurance for a year, and that was when the cancer started.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know. I knew she had cancer and I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was.
And like by the time she was back on insurance and went in for an exam, it was already metastasized.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It was.
Americans.
We live in a horrible dystopian country.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Like, honestly, like, so Star Trek, Charmed, and Buffy were like my holy trinity
Mm-hmm.
at a certain
Mhm.
point. So like her passing was like a big sister passing, like because that's just
Yeah.
how I grew up watching that show, and it was really difficult. So
Yeah. Yeah. I did not watch Charmed and I was not a 90210 person. But somebody I was like aware of.
yeah.
Dr. Ruth, on the other hand, that one I was like,
Yeah.
Mm.
Although, I
but
mean,
again, 94 or
yeah,
96, you know?
kind of like James Sicking, Dr. Ruth had a good run.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And Richard Simmons, I did not realize how young he was. If you'd asked me how old he was, I would have thought he was in his late 80s. So anyway, so it has been an interesting weekend for such things, and we offer our condolences to Mr. Sicking's family, of course, and the rest of those who we lost this weekend, who aren't Star Trek related, but still, important.
Mhm.
So the other news, which I did second because it is rife for speculation, is that there is going to be a Comic-Con panel with Alex Kurtzman and Russell Davies, both in person on, what was
to
it, like
celebrate
Sci-Fi Turnover Day?
Intergalactic Friendship Day, which is a thing they just made up
Yes.
for this. It's not a
Well,
thing
perfect.
that existed before now.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Star Trek and Doctor Who are having a panel together at San Diego Comic-Con. I know there's some people that are saying it's just going to be a thing where they talk about stuff and promote stuff. I cannot possibly, personally, I cannot imagine that they would do a panel of Alex Kurtzman and Russell T. Davies together at San Diego Comic-Con, where all the big announcements for things come from, if they're not going to announce a crossover. And I don't mean another comic series, because we already had that.
Yeah.
I mean something on screen.
Yeah.
That would be wild.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is that it would be probably an episode of Doctor Who in which they visit Strange New Worlds.
Ooh.
That would be the easiest to integrate, in.
Yeah. And it would be easier if it were a Doctor Who episode than a Star Trek episode, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So didn't
You know-
Anson Mount make a statement saying that like the next season of Star Trek Strange New Worlds would be kind of like setting the bar even higher from the prior
He did.
season?
He did.
So that kind of lends me to wonder, could we have a crossover in the next season potentially?
It's possible. Or maybe he was referring to this crossover but couldn't say that it's not actually in the season of Strange New Worlds. Or he could be talking about something else entirely, and there's something else crazy happening.
Well, remember we were debating last season whether it was going to be a musical or a Western, so maybe now we're going to have a Western musical.
Ooh. I'm on
I don't
board.
know how I feel about a Western.
I don't know.
But what about
Well-
a Western musical?
Okay, a Western musical I can get behind. Like, I love Western
No.
musicals.
No, see,
Also,
that's
one of my
always
favorite
the-
episodes
yeah,
of
Western.
Enterprise is North Star, which is a
I
Western
love
episode
North
of
Star.
Enterprise. So
Yeah.
but I don't think Anson Mount would describe a Western episode as crazy, because that's just he
did that for 6 years.
he did that
Mhm.
for 6 years on Hell on Wheels, and Pike
Yeah.
already rides a horse. I mean, that's not a big reach.
Yeah, No, I don't think that would be something he'd describe as crazy. I do have to say again, and I've said it a gazillion times, if we're going to have anything set in 19th century America, it needs to be the show that Let That Be Your Last Battlefield was supposed to originally be, which is portrait in black and white with the black people holding the white people as slaves that they wouldn't do the script for because they didn't think anybody in the South would air it.
You were
Anyway,
probably right.
they were probably right, but now's the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even apparently maybe not quite as much as it was, but not less. Yeah, I think the big question here, I think, would be, is it easier for Paramount to get licensing from BBC and Disney, or for BBC and Disney to get licensing from Paramount?
I think it's easier for BBC and Disney to get licensing
Yeah.
from Paramount.
That's my thought.
That
too.
is one thing which is driving me nuts, because I tweeted about this. I quoted the tweet from Doctor Who saying they were doing this, and I got a bunch of replies because somebody screenshotted my tweet and then put it on Facebook, and it got traction there too. But I got a bunch of replies in both places from people saying, no, it's not possible, they're owned by different companies. It's like, that's not, like, they're not mortal enemies. Like, I'm not sure what you're trying to...
Like, okay, if Farscape was able to take Warner Brothers cartoons and use
Right.
that, I
Like,
mean,
Do you not understand how licensing works? Like,
Yeah.
yes, they are owned by different companies, but that doesn't mean they can't do a crossover. Especially in the streaming era, where it's not like they're not, well, they are rivals, they're not direct rivals in the sense that if you are watching Paramount, you will never watch Disney. I would venture to say that the majority of people who watch Star Trek on Paramount Plus also watch Star Wars on Disney Plus. Just a
and
thought.
Doctor Who?
And Doctor Who, right?
Probably some of the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it would easily, whichever service it's on, it would promote the other service.
Yeah.
It's possible they'll do something little on both.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
To
Love
promote
it.
the other one. But whichever one does it, it will generate buzz and bring people to subscribe to both of their services. And it's not, that's not an insurmountable thing. Yes, Doctor Who is owned by BBC. It is not owned by Disney. Disney just has the broadcast rights outside of the UK. That's a completely different thing. Disney does not own the character of the Doctor. Well, yeah, I know you guys understand that, but I've been fighting with people online.
Well, then, by all means, explain that in as minute detail as needed for people to understand it. I think, given that Paramount is an American company, I mean, I know it's an international company, but I think
Paramount Global is the name of the company.
Right. Okay. But so for dealing with, I think Disney would be involved in some way,
Oh yeah,
even
yeah,
though they're
for
not
sure.
owners. So
But the it I was saying BBC owns the intellectual property to Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Paramount owns the intellectual property to Star Trek. It is
For now.
completely plausible that one or both will license to the other for the purposes of this specific thing. It happens. It's the sort of thing that happens all the time in the entertainment business. Look at Sony's Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
And before Fox was owned by Disney, Fox's X-Men movies. It's
yeah. You know what it reminds me of that is maybe not quite the same but similar, because it's not all the same production company. You remember when NBC used to do the theme nights? So you'd have like a Thursday night and it was all about there was one Thursday night where they did a power outage that was across all of the Thursday night shows.
Oh yeah, I remember that
And
sort of thing.
there was a Saturday night where they did a hurricane across all of the Saturday night shows. Which is they're being aired on the same network, but it's not all the same production companies. So it's that kind of thing.
And there was that week
Donnie's
in the
like,
90s when UPN had a professional wrestler on every one of their dramas and comedies, including Star
Is that
Trek.
how we ended up with?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
With The Rock and Voyager.
Yes.
Well, not the worst episode of Trek.
No, it's not.
No.
It's really not
No,
a bad
it's not
episode.
It's not a
Star
terrible
Trek.
episode. No, it's not.
I do enjoy that episode of Voyager.
Yeah.
And The
Yeah,
Rock
I don't know.
wasn't bad in his role either, and he
No.
did the eyebrow thing, but they never like said, "Oh, look, that's just like that old Earth wrestler, The Rock." Like it was just a Easter egg.
They were probably just like, play yourself if you were from a different planet.
Yeah.
Run with that.
Forehead of the week, but he plays himself in everything, which is fine because most of the stuff they put him in is that's what he needs to be.
I do not think The Rock is an amazing actor, but I do enjoy a lot of his work.
Yeah, it's popcorn movies.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this out here for the Doctor Who thing. It is like I am 99.9% sure it will never happen, but I think the best way to integrate these two stories is for the travelers to be doctors, and vice versa.
Ooh, okay.
Oh. Ooh.
I don't think that they want to allow that much interaction of the IP. But
yeah, I
would
doubted
be
either.
beautiful.
Although, if you listen to the most recent episode of Weekly Trek,
It's queued up, but I have not yet. Yeah.
It includes an interview that Trek Core did with the Hagemans. And the Hagemans specifically refer to Will Wheaton as a Time Lord. Well, Wesley Crusher, I mean.
Yes.
But yes.
Well, Will Wheaton too. As we don't.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
I don't think that was a secret, like in any way a hint at what's happening. But it's an amusing coincidence.
It is, and part of the reason I bring that up too is because, Gary Seven was, we have that wonderful backdoor pilot for what was supposed to be an American Doctor Who ripoff, basically, and so, how fun would that be? But they could still do it if they just had one. Like, the travelers come from everywhere. The supervisors come from everywhere. So you could have one person who's both.
My guess is that it will be a Doctor Who episode, not a Star Trek episode, and it will probably never be directly referenced on an actual Star Trek episode.
Yeah. How would that...
If it's referenced, it probably would be referenced very cryptically.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like how in Lower Decks made a brief aside to the crossover Strange New Worlds when they just say that Pike thing we're not supposed to talk about. And
Or even when we get hints at Discovery periodically, like it's very like subtle,
The
covert.
mycelial network. Oh no, you're not supposed to know about that. Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, even the offhand of the Narada incursion is
Mhm.
still so. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to finding out.
I am too. And not to segue into talking about the episodes, but I think
No, by all means. I mean,
Absolutely.
I think that was a good juncture because I think
Yes.
that I've been so impressed with season 2 of Star Trek Prodigy. Like
Mhm.
season 1 for me, I did enjoy, but it wasn't like monumental to me. But season 2 has really taken off, and I am so invested. I think that it is really adding some beautiful flourishes into Star Trek canon as a whole by like kind of bridging everything together in very subtle ways, kind of like what we were just talking about with like Wesley Crusher mentioning all of these different things associated with the multiverse that is Star Trek, right? Like it was just so interesting, and I'm loving it. I hope that we get more Prodigy, but I got to be realistic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is unlikely that we'll get more. I would love if we did, but I would not hold my breath.
Well, powers that be, we are manifesting it.
May the
So,
great bird of the galaxy listen. Yeah, well, that is a good segue. We did have ourselves a Time Lord mentioned in here, and so there's that, as it were.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
we'll find out at San Diego Comic-Con. It will be big news that breaks the internet no matter what it is. And yes, I will be very annoyed if it is just a comic book or a announcement of some commercials or something. I'll be annoyed about that.
I didn't even think about that.
A
I'll
new
be
season
very
of very
annoyed.
short treks featuring the Doctor.
Okay, short treks would be okay. Very short treks we never need to see again.
No, we don't.
Done with those.
Yes.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, there was one that was good. Now I can't remember. I remember thinking there was one that wasn't terrible.
The holograms all the way down, the one that Aaron Walke did.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes. Oh, the one that was yeah.
I'll give them props for experimentation, but beyond
I
that,
liked the one they
Give that,
did. The last one they did, that was the thing where they were singing where they had Jonathan Frakes and George Takei singing a cheesy song. I like that one.
Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, I think the Gross People Planet threw me off of everything else. So
The booger
The fish
and
and snot
microwaving
people.
fish. Yeah, that was certainly a thing.
it was funny
Yeah.
but so unhinged. Like I'm not used to that level of unhinged in Star Trek.
yeah. Star Trek doesn't usually go for cringe humor, and neither
I
do
mean, unless you consider the Lower Decks episode with like the planet of the bird people.
I love that episode.
I do
Okay.
love that episode, but when I first watched it, I was like, this is chaos.
that is cringe humor. Yeah,
It's chaos.
and I'm not a huge fan of that episode. I mean, it's okay, but
It's grown on me,
Anyway.
but it's not my favorite.
there's lots of things I would rather watch it than.
Right.
Maybe not the highest bar, but anyway, so talking about bird people, there was a bird person who was on the Protostar with Chakotay, and that brings
Yes.
us to the episode we're talking about here. See, we'll bring it back around. So we are starting, we're going to do episodes 11 through 14 today, starting with Last Flight of the Protostar, Part 1. And we find out that Chakotay has spent a decade on this planet called Isida, fishing and scraping the scales or the stuff off the scales of the fish and eating it with those weird fruits that he knocks off of the trees. And okay.
It was
very
very
ASMR
This episode.
montage.
It was
Oh,
very
yeah.
Luke Skywalker and Less Jedi.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Angry old man.
Can we talk
Yeah.
about how attractive Chakotay is with a beard, though? Like, because I was
Beard's
watching
good,
that, I was just
yeah.
like, Zaddy Chakotay? Like, has this been what I've been waiting for since Voyager?
He looks great with the beard, but also coming up though in Cracked Mirror, those arms.
Yeah. I mean, there's things you can do with animation. I don't know. I haven't
Those
seen Robert
arms.
Beltran lately, but I'm pretty sure he's not kept up like that.
He has not.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So yay for that.
Well, let me tell you, Zaddy Chakotay, I would travel to any reality, a mirror universe, name it. Computer, delete Janeway.
Yeah. Oh.
Just kidding, I love
Okay.
Janeway.
Yeah, no, of course. That does bring up an interesting point, though, right? He's eating random fish. I think it's fish roe. It's eggs, but and these weird plants. When he could be using some of the power that holographic Janeway is using to run a replicator and I don't know, make himself a new shirt and some vegetable stir fry or something.
It's probably because Janeway was
Just-
comforting for him and he didn't want her to be
Yeah.
gone.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, because he does talk about how they don't have a lot of power, so I think it's just...
Yeah.
So hologram Janeway and Chakotay were together on this planet for a decade.
Yes,
Well, we don't know
I
how much of that they
also...
were together alone.
My mind also went there, and yes, I think absolutely.
Well, so I guess what frustrates me is that, like, and we're gonna get to it a little bit further. Sorry, but when
that's all right. We bounce around.
when the
It's all good.
story comes in full circle, like I just feel like she's a second thought to the real Janeway, and I was like, oh, poor hologram Janeway. Like, get with the doctor. Like, just find someone, hologram Janeway.
No, hologram Janeway doesn't need anybody. Hologram Janeway's out there just
She's a strong, independent
just
hologram.
being out there. Yep.
But no,
Well, she can just pull up Michael Sullivan and she doesn't need.
There we go.
I mean, can't blame her.
Speaking of deleting the wife, yeah.
Fairhaven all the way.
But yeah, no, Cisco. No, Chakotay.
There's a fan fiction that I don't know exists, and I'm not going to go look.
Oh, I'm sure it's out there.
I'm sure
sure it
Ciscote is absolutely somebody's ship. But
Cisco and Janeway, that'd be a hell of
no,
a
I was
combination.
thinking Cisco Chakotay.
Oh, no, I was okay.
I
I didn't even
mean,
go there. I mean, yeah, that's
Oh no, because
there's a lot of
Chakotay being
levels with the
Maquis, can you just
Maquis and
imagine how angry it would be? Oh yeah.
and how sad Eddington
The
was.
fic just writes itself, honestly.
but you know what? It's the 24th century. Polyamory is accepted.
Oh,
Anything
absolutely.
can be part of it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I just don't want to
Yeah,
read
and
it.
anyone who doesn't think there's sexual tension between Cisco and Eddington should rewatch those episodes again.
There was so much.
Mhm. Yes. Props to Avery Brooks and the guy who played Eddington, whose name I can't remember. And
You guys are gonna never invite me
I
back
hope they
again
talked.
with this
I hope
chaos.
Andy Robert.
What?
I was like, you guys are gonna never invite me back again with this chaos
What
that I'm
is
creating.
that?
Not at all.
He
This
was
is
in
wonderful.
Krull.
I was gonna say I hope they talked to Andy Robinson about how he was playing against. He was playing Garrick against Bashir in that because. It's that because he always set out to do that on purpose, and I
love him for that.
always
Kenneth
bring that up.
Marshall
Oh, yeah.
is the actor.
There we go. Not to be confused with Kenneth Mitchell.
No. Very different actor.
Yes. But anyway, so that would explain why he didn't want to turn off holographic Janeway so that he could have a new shirt and other food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think obviously they weren't going to get into this in a kids show, or even if it wasn't a kids show, they still wouldn't have gotten into this. But
No.
absolutely, Chakotay and Hollow Janeway were very close over those 10 years, if you know what I mean.
Partaking in frivolity.
Quite.
Just like the episode where they were marooned on the planet that I can't remember the name
I
of,
don't-
and then they never talk
Resolutions.
about it again.
When he
I feel
builds
like-
her a freaking bathtub, yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like this is a fanfic. Like the couple of episodes of Prodigy is a fanfic of that Voyager episode.
Absolutely.
Like those writers were like, you know what, that episode should have deserved more justice. Let's do a couple of episodes with Chakotay.
Well, I remember in Chicago, a couple years ago at Star Trek Mission Chicago, they said that Janeway Chakotay fans would not be disappointed with Prodigy Season 2.
I mean, I'm not necessarily a Janeway Chakotay fan myself, but like being that episode really warmed my soul back in the day. Like I watched it and I was like, you know what? This is a nice nod to that. It's not nice.
I'm all in on Janeway Chakotay personally.
Yeah, I've always
Like,
been
am I writing fanfics about it? No, not necessarily. But if they're gonna write it for me, that's fine.
reasonable.
Yeah, you don't have to write the fanfic. There's already a ton of it out
Oh
there.
my god.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, don't even. Yeah. Yeah. How long, if they're together, the real ones, and how long until he starts talking about something that they did together that it turns out was Hollow Janeway? And I don't even mean like anything sexual, just like, you remember that time we had dinner on the edge of
Yeah.
the cliff? On the
That's called the Jordan
Protostar?
LaForge paradox.
Ooh. Oh. Good one.
Not Leah Brahms.
Yeah. Good one. So, the kids show up. He recognizes some of them as the
Galactic
call
Raiders.
Galactic. I don't know why I can't remember that. I was about to call them traveling mercenaries, which I guess is kind of the same thing, but not really. He recognized some of them, which I think is pretty fun. He wants to leave him out in the ion storm. He's peak Luke Skywalker in that moment, I think.
Well,
Just like,
I mean,
get off my lawn.
he
It's my
hasn't
ship.
talked to another person other than Hollow Janeway in 10 years. He's pretty grouchy and hermity at this point.
We don't know how long Adrik's been dead. I imagine it's been
I'd say it's been a couple years. There was no flesh left on those bones.
No, there wasn't. But he was in the middle of an electrical storm too, so
Yeah, fair.
I don't know if that makes a difference, but I mean it's been a while. I think
Yeah.
more than half of that time.
Mhm.
But yeah. Yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe he's just grumpy.
And then when he does let them on, he has a hat for the entire purpose of doing an Indiana Jones impersonation.
Which
Why
I did
not?
not object to,
No.
mind you.
No. Speaking of other
Like, I even have in my notes, where did that hat come from? Because he only ever wears it to cover his face so he can ignore the kids, like Indiana Jones does in Temple of Doom.
well, yeah. Yeah, that was a lack of continuity. He should have been wearing it when he was fishing or something.
Right.
Maybe. Then it would have had. But then we would have been like, why does he have a hat? Why doesn't he have the hat later? And because we're Star Trek fans, so we're gonna ask these questions. Yeah. I want to know what happened to all of those regulation Starfleet hats that seem to exist a lot, and then now they're gone. I mean, I would like some regulation Starfleet hats. So, right. So then we have basically the crew decide to have themselves a montage about fixing up the Protostar, because that's going to make Chakotay feel better. Jankum fixes the car. Murph
Percussive
goes
maintenance.
fishing. Yeah, percussive maintenance. Dal gets lost and then figures out where Adrik died, and then they can fix the ship.
Yeah, so I guess we are assuming Adrik got electrocuted? They don't really say.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else. I mean, I don't think he starved to death up there.
Right.
I think they emphasized the storms so much that it had to definitely be the storms.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was kind of like a cave, wasn't it? He might have suffocated. But that's still, like, that makes it more complicated than necessary, maybe.
I gotta give them major props because, like,
Mm-hmm.
when I first encountered Adric, I didn't think I'd really get invested in that character until this particular episode. Like navigating the fallout of his death and Chakotay's response to it and everything like that. That was heavy. I was like getting misty eyed during this episode. I was like, ooh.
Mm-hmm. And heavy stuff for kids too. But I'm glad
Yeah.
that that's included in there.
Mm-hmm.
That they're dealing with that, because kids deal with life, even if we like to pretend they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So he figured that they could get antimatter out of these storms. Turns out he was right. Died in the process of getting that battery or whatever it was filled up with it. And then we go to the next episode. I did very, very random as we were going through the montage that, like, Majel and Gwyn were fixing the solar collectors, and he sees them, and she just stops and gives him a live long and prosper. Like, it's like sort of kind of an odd response, but okay, it worked.
I like how I like how he instinctively responds back with a welcome salute.
Mm-hmm. There's that. Yeah. If I'm missing something here, feel free to jump in. I feel like these two
I think
episodes
that sums up part one of the
so.
episode.
We find out the planet is a P-class planet, which I don't think we've encountered before.
Did we get... I should look if we got a definition for that, because I wasn't 100% sure that was a thing, or if that was Jenkum, like, saying you found a shitty planet.
Fair. I don't remember hearing
like
P-class anywhere.
He calls it the P-class nightmare.
Yeah.
Yes. We get... Memory Alpha does say that Breen is a P-class planet.
Oh.
Okay.
But that comes from Star Trek star charts rather than something actually ever said on screen. So, yeah, P-class planet does exist. It's not a very nice planet, apparently, just like this one.
So then we get into part 2, and we start with Voyager recovering from the loom. And both of these have that overarching thing of this was supposed to be the part 2 of season 2 opener.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So there's re-explaining of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can definitely tell
but it works.
They did it that way. Because, yes, if it had originally aired on Paramount, we would have gotten the first half last year and would be getting the second half this year.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about bringing Beverly Crusher into this via the Doctor? I like that.
I loved it. I mean, any opportunity to see Beverly, I'm always up for. But I think, being that the whole conversation that Janeway had with her centered around, like, Wesley Crusher's reappearance and, trying to figure out that, like, it felt nice to have Beverly kind of discuss, like, motherhood with Janeway and, like, discuss how important Wesley is to her, because, I mean, she even mentions in the conversation that she has not seen Wesley in years, but still cares about him and everything like that. And I think that went far in developing Beverly, in the sense that, like, she is kind of a grieving mother, grieving the loss of a child.
Yeah.
And yeah, it makes perfect sense that they would include her, because, I mean, Wesley shows up, of course. Beverly Crusher is going to be Janeway's only real frame of reference for him. And since he wasn't in Picard season 3, it makes sense for her to be here. I think now that we know how big a role Wesley has in Prodigy Season 2, I think that explains why he's not in Picard Season 3, because we know
Yeah.
that they try to keep the shows a little separate.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool just to see those two iconic characters interact for the first time. I mean,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
because you never
Mhm.
really, and then like Janeway asking about Picard and everything like that, and Beverly being like, "Oh, oh."
I don't know. Here's a piece of information about him that's publicly available. But I like how Starfleet Medical knew where to find her.
Yeah.
You know, he had to ask the right people, but they knew where she was, which kind of like, well, some people didn't try hard enough, but that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, I think, and that's very clear in Picard that Picard had never tried to contact her. He had assumed that she wanted nothing to do with him and had left it at that.
Well, and she never reached out to any of them either.
Right,
Which
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought, but her justification was she wanted to keep them safe, right? But like,
Mhm.
Right. I was actually
still.
thinking, because I understand why he didn't. That's the first person I thought of as, oh, you didn't try hard enough was Troy, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But again, she's dealing with her own shit. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I keep swearing. I need to not do that.
I love it.
Oh, that's fine. We'll have
I know, it's just
explicit episodes talking about a kids show.
I'll edit.
Yeah, I edited last the episode that came out last week. I edited it so in such a way that you could tell that I had said a word, but you didn't know what the word was.
Yes.
Ooh.
There's always the dip down
Yep.
the volume. It's all good. Yeah, no, I mean, she had her own stuff she was dealing with, but it was interesting. And again, somehow Prodigy, as we discussed, Donnie, plug your ears for a moment. As we discussed at the end, after everything's done, it kind of does lead one into watching Picard for some reason. So,
Which is weird,
I guess that's not a
right?
spoiler. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't hear it regardless, so you're good.
Okay. Well, that's all right.
like, it does seem weird that Prodigy is referencing Picard when
Mm-hmm.
obviously Prodigy's target audience should probably not be watching Picard.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Yeah.
little thing for those of us who are not the target audience but really enjoy Prodigy.
Yeah.
And again, as we've said, and as you were saying, because you got to watch before I did, or I didn't have a chance to watch it as quickly as you did, about how this is a lot less of let's introduce kids to Trek and more of here's some Star Trek that kids can, maybe connect with better than other Trek that is equally safe for kids to watch.
Mm-hmm.
That was an awkward sentence, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, this show continues to feel more to me like the show that Star Trek fans will show to their kids than the show that kids will discover and get into Star Trek.
Yeah. Right. So we get the little bit from Voyager, and then we learn about warp power for kids. Here's how matter and antimatter work. Here's how we need deuterium. I do love that they don't shy on the technobabble.
I love it. I think it's good that they keep it in.
It's not like adults know what they're saying half the time anyway. I mean, the technobabble can be completely obscure. Most people are just rolling with the words.
Agreed. It's the use of many multi-syllabic words that you don't usually see in a kid show that I love.
Mm-hmm.
So we get background on Chakotay for people who don't know, because Dal thinks that he's never going to be able to be in command. The lesson that Chakotay gives, I like to a point. What do you guys think about the idea of go where you're needed?
It makes sense.
I mean, to me, like, that whole theme kind of stems from I mean, we get that history lesson from him about like his experience with Voyager. I think that kind of
Mhm.
continues the themes that we saw in Voyager, right?
Sure.
Because we know that Voyager, instead of just beelining for home, went everywhere to be helpful,
Yeah.
right? So, like, I think that, like, just the theme of, like, being there where you're needed for others, like, I think that's kind of, I like that theme. I think it's nice.
Yeah. It's not a bad one. I think my recovering from Catholicism makes me kind of push back against it in that whole idea of you always have to live for other people.
Hmm.
But that might just be my own demons.
I also kind of, I also think I think that's one of Chakotay's positives, but also negatives. And I think that as much as I love Voyager, Voyager is one of my favorite Star Trek series. I think Voyager really squanders Chakotay the last few seasons.
Hmm.
Because one of Chakotay's defining qualities is that he was so selfless that it was often at his own expense, and he would
Hmm.
often get into trouble for it. Case in point here in Prodigy, this situation where he probably could do more to get himself off this planet, but he's thinking
Hmm.
he's keeping everybody safe. So he willfully kind of martyrs himself to the situation.
Hmm.
Whereas I think he's kind of realizing in his conversation with Dahl, especially, that, like, oh, it's important to be there for others instead of just being a hermit on a planet for 10 years. I don't know if that made sense.
No, it
No,
makes
that makes
sense.
perfect sense. And I think that touched on the discomfort I was feeling with it, connected with my Catholic upbringing. That idea of martyring oneself. Um, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah. But it
And
works because there's
yeah.
lots of times in life that trying to help somebody else with things can actually make you feel better if you're having a bad time.
Hmm.
You started to say though. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like this. At first I was kind of like thrown off by it, but then I started thinking back on Voyager, and I'm like, okay, wait, like this is kind of textbook Chakotay when you think about it.
Yes.
So maybe the writers were like, okay, let's try to do some developing for Chakotay that we never got in
Mm-hmm.
Voyager.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All
I
right.
think
So.
Chakotay is better in Prodigy than he ever was on Voyager, honestly.
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. See, we have a beautiful echo of the conversation from Generations between Picard and Riker about being on a sailing ship and not having all the comforts of home, and uh, but between Jankum and Rock, which I thought that was cute.
Hmm.
I'm sure it was intentional. I thought it was cute. Um, Zero and Majel are uncomfortable because they're Zero and Majel, and there's that cute little quasi romance going on. And then we have the classic. We have to go out into the middle of the storm to get the thing that we need to survive, and we might die trying to get the thing that we need to survive. Um, then one of them falls off the ship. Chakotay falls off the ship, gets saved by Dahl.
Which kind of like reinvigorates Dahl, who was really discouraged
Mm-hmm.
at one point
Mm-hmm.
during the episode.
Yeah. I felt like there was a lot of conflict or potential for a lot of conflict between him and Chakotay, and that gets diffused between the conversation and these events.
Right. Well, I think it's so. Of all the characters, Dahl is the one that I've just not really been able to connect with until this episode. And it
Oh,
was
okay.
through, like, I think the conflict with Chakotay was interesting because it reveals that Dahl has this need to be needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he
Mm-hmm.
felt like he was not needed, you started to see things crumble just a little bit, right? When he started feeling
I hadn't thought of it that
useless.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like I was like, ooh, okay, been there, done that. Where are they going with this? So then, like, kind of Dahl proving that he is useful. Like, I thought that was, I was like, okay, there's a little bit of resolution here. Like, I feel like Dahl is a little bit more three-dimensional now, as opposed to before.
Yeah, I can see that.
For sure. Yeah.
I also, like, so there's the whole thing where I feel bad for Dow because the way I read it originally, where the ship almost crashes, I read it as Dow not actually knowing what he was supposed to do. Because he turns the ship the wrong way, but I think that's because he thought if you turn the lever, you turn the lever towards the way you want the ship to go, but it's actually the other way around because it's like a...
Backing up a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they never, like, go into that. They just take him off, and I'm like, I feel really bad because he probably just honestly didn't know. He thought he was doing what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about
too.
that, yeah.
I mean, how often, like, I know when I was a kid, I would be told to do something and I would do it wrong and then I'd get yelled at or, like, replaced with somebody. Like, I feel like that's a very relatable kid thing to witness. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, they're doing something with Dahl here that is a little bit more interesting.
I remember when I was a kid, I went back and forth with my mom for, like, I think it was a couple weeks before we finally realized which way we were supposed to be on this page, about the phrase, about how to leave the shower curtain in the bathroom, because she kept telling me that I needed to open the shower curtain when I was done, and to me that meant, oh, you open it like a door, but she wanted me to open it out so it dried out, like, once you get out,
Close it.
You close it like a door so that it dries out, but it's opened out. And, like, every time she was like, I need you to open the shower curtain when you're done in the bathroom. And then I said, okay, I did. And then I told you to open the shower curtain. And, yeah, it went back and forth. Same sort of thing. Anyway.
No, completely reasonable to wonder that.
Amelia Bedelia.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Draw the curtains. I don't know why I need to draw the curtains, but okay. Yeah, so they have this these few harrowing moments, and apparently they all learn how to drive a sailing ship, and then they pick up the deuterium they need, but they're 3,000 light years away, right?
A sizable distance from Voyager.
Yeah. Which, again, that brings us back to the whole Voyager was 75,000 light years away, and sometimes that's very far, and sometimes it's not, and there was a whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's a MacGuffin for the plot, so they have to rebuild the Protostar drive. And for that, they need this element called bosonite, which I looked up just to make sure, because I'm not a chemist, and it's not a real thing. And they go find it on a planet with a bunch of tribbles, which brings us to the next episode, a tribble called Quest.
Oh, can I be honest?
Go for it.
I'm hoping that maybe you both can help me warm up to this episode, but when I watched this episode, compared to the other surrounding episodes, I was like, what is happening right now? Like, it, to me, does very much seem like a filler episode.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. This, for people who complained about filler episodes constantly on Twitter, this actually is a filler episode. They do get something that advances the plot, but not really. It's only there so that they can have this filler episode.
So,
yeah.
To begin with what I do like the kind of expanded context we get on tribbles. Like, I think that was very interesting. Especially in conjunction with, like, the Klingons, etc. I thought that Rock got some really good moments in this episode. I feel like Rock has been kind of like this underutilized character. But we got some more, instances with her. Does she use her pronouns? I cannot remember. I think so.
As far as I know.
And if memory serves, Zero is non-binary, correct?
That's
because
correct. Yep.
being a Medusan. Okay. But no, like I kind of just found the episode to be just a lot of mayhem. Like it was entertaining, and it like giant tribbles, like that was entertaining. But ultimately I was just kind of like, okay, let's move on to the next episode. That's how I felt when I watched it. Feel free to eviscerate me.
No, not at
No.
all. I've
Just
my big complaint with this episode is that tribbles do not translate to this animation style very well.
No.
yes,
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they look spiky. Like, I know it's hair, but they look spiky.
Well, I mean, we did establish that these ones are a little bit off, so maybe they are spiky. Maybe it's very spiky hair, like a...
Porcupine tribbles.
Thank you. That was the animal I was trying to bring to the front of my head. Hey. And I meant to look up the scientific name, or looked up to see where it came from. And forgot to do that while I was making the notes.
The scientific name for tribbles, Triballustes ventricosus, right?
Ventricosus, yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But also, they were also given the scientific name Polygreminus grex.
We also learned that Rock studied tribbles. Right?
Yeah, we get more from... there's that brief mention because she's given the talk about how she figured out how to stop tribbles from breeding or something like that in the first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, that was... I was expecting her to reference that directly, but she didn't.
I mean, I guess she kind of did.
I think there was a different character that referenced it in conjunction. Maybe it was Zero, potentially, but I think it was in conversation with a different character. They were like, oh yeah, Rock studied tribbles.
Well, they said that she's an expert on all things cute and cuddly.
Yes.
Oh, right,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so it's got to be a play on this. When I put in Triballustes ventricosus, it came up with a, did you mean Trypnuistes ventricosus, which is a sea urchin. Which looks like a damp tribble.
Oh, and they are spiky, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I see, like, props to people for not giving out spoilers, because I'm seeing very little on the internet about this. Even typing it into Google. But I just judging by the did you mean in Google, that's probably where they were. Probably what the idea was there. Yeah.
I do kind of like that we also get a callback to DS9 in this episode where they reference the tribble outbreak that once brought the Klingon Empire to its knees. I was like, okay, I like that parallel. Clearly, Klingons have some issues with tribbles.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And name drop of General Martok.
Yep.
Okay, and ventricosus means swollen.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess, like, puffy, swollen with baby tribbles. I don't know, but anyway. I have to look up things that sound like Latin. It's just who I am.
No, it makes sense.
No, I love it.
So we meet Dr. Kurevang. I pronounced that wrong. Kurevang, I think.
Yeah, that sounds closer to what he said.
Yeah, Kurevang. I don't know. And then we get a bunch of jokes about how cool Klingons can't be scientists, which is just lovely to see that get continued into a children's show, but that's fine.
So, the Protostar doesn't have power for the protocore, so they can't do proto-warp, but they do have power for everything else. Why is Chakotay still wearing his tattered uniform in this episode?
Because it's hot.
Yeah.
That's the only answer that's needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still not as hot
I
as the
don't
mirror uniform in the next episode.
That is true. That is very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. And that's a good question. I don't know. Continuity of drawing. They didn't feel like putting him back in the other one yet. Something.
That's probably the reason. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zero gets run over by the supergiant Tribble. Wait a second. Wasn't there a supergiant Tribble in the Tribble episode of the animated series?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So
That was also a genetic experiment on Tribbles.
Yeah.
They were trying to keep them from breeding, and they successfully made them stop breeding, but they just kept getting bigger and bigger instead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So okay, so there's a callback there that I didn't pick up on right away. So yeah, our Klingon scientist is so distraught by the fact that he's screwed everything up that he can never go home because his honor is destroyed. And as we all know, that's going to dishonor 7 generations of his family because he couldn't figure out how to get the Tribbles to stop breeding. Rock's research comes in here, but then she sneezes on one of her samples. Or she sneezes and she drops her hanky on one of her samples. Just like...
Yep. Which creates a combination Brick-R Tribble.
Mm-hmm. That can communicate with Tribbles.
Sure, why
which
not?
is kind of fun. Yeah, why not? So yeah, I thought that was fun. I don't know if I'm helping you like this any better, Donnie.
It's growing on me slowly. I'm bloating like a Tribble.
There you go. The retrovirus in the grain. Again, makes sense. We all know Tribbles love their grain. And then of
what
course
is the
we have to
grain
have
called again?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
again.
Quadrotriticale.
Oh yes, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yep, and that is straight from The Trouble with Tribbles. As opposed to Quintotriticale as it was in the animated series episode.
Oh. I
Well,
forgot about
that makes sense. They had to add one more triticale. Yeah. So we have that wonderful scene where they're all getting, run down by the Tribbles and this, we're about to be destroyed, and then Bribble talks to them and tells them to go away. And they collect the bosonite they need. And then parents can flop over to Paramount Plus and show their kids Trouble with Tribbles, which actually I think is a nice little thing there. And I think maybe part of the purpose of this episode. Maybe.
Yeah. I didn't think of that. That's a good idea.
If they were doing better with the merchandising, I would have said that was it. But they're not.
Yeah, we should have some toys, some Tribbles from this, but
And a Bribble.
Yeah.
I want a Bribble.
Mm-hmm. We might get a Bribble. I don't know. At some point.
Okay, I gotta give the newest iterations of Star Trek some credit for creating some of the cutest creatures, like the Bribble, the Moopsie. Oh, Moopsie. Moopsie. I love Moopsie so much. So the Bribble is this iteration's Moopsie, just less homicidal.
Moopsie.
I was going to say
you can actually order one of these now, Donnie. They're only $25.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They just went back up on what is it, Hero?
Please do, because I need one.
Yeah.
It's Master Replicas. It's the
Master Replicas. That was it. I was like, oh, there's $30 with shipping that I don't need to spend, but I'm going to. So yeah, I'm hoping we get a Bribble. But we'll see. I'm sure there's people out there making handmade dribbles now. So.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah.
I think Abby, when we had her on,
Oh yeah, that's right. Her
said that
friend.
she was commissioning a dribble from someone.
Yeah, that's right. That's where that piece of information came into my head. Okay. Um, how'd you feel about Zero with the injury and Jankum trying to deal with this? Like,
I mean, it makes
weighed the
sense.
emotional issues. Yeah.
We knew from the episode, from Is There in Beauty No Truth, we knew that they said that the bodies could only be sustained when they were on that planet. So it makes sense that when they're injured, they don't heal. So this will continue to be a story throughout the season, I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
And listeners, I am speaking cagily because Donny has not seen the whole series, so we are trying to be mostly spoiler-free.
Yes.
I've been very fascinated by Zero's transformation because I really feel like there's a lot of like metaphorical like like disability awareness and like some queer metaphors happening in that too, which I'm like, okay, I really like this, but it's like kind of illustrated in a way that is very sensible to younger audiences. It's very absorbable to younger audiences. So I'm very curious as to see where it goes with the remaining episodes that I've not seen yet. So
yeah, I think those metaphors are very intentional, and always have been with Zero.
Oh yeah, agreed.
I liked seeing. Sorry, I'm just thinking how to put this in a sentence. I liked seeing children's characters being presented with not knowing how to deal with this problem. You know, Jankum is like, I'm very uncomfortable with this, and I'm gonna leave now. And his friend, you know, needing him there. You know, Zero says, no, I'd really rather have the company. And that's perfectly reasonable for them to want that.
It's also reasonable for Jankum not to know how to handle it.
Exactly. And
especially in the case of Jankum. Because
yeah.
we know Jankum's backstory is that he spent most of his life alone.
Yeah. But as someone who had to deal with how to navigate people in my family having medical issues as a kid, like I grew up in a house with my aunt who's sick. She had she was diagnosed with schizophrenia, but we're not entirely sure that was the right diagnosis now. But so she wasn't well, and then also she and my mother taking care of my grandmother, who was like dying of Alzheimer's from the time I was 5 until I was 10. And I spent a lot of time in emergency rooms as a kid, in emergency room waiting rooms. And it was one of those things that I always had trouble talking about that to my friends. Like, they had no frame of reference for it. And I like seeing that kind of an issue depicted for kids, because maybe it'll give them a frame of reference when they have to go sit all night in the waiting room at the emergency room because somebody in their family is sick. You know, not that I want kids to have to deal with that, but that is part of life.
And kids benefit from representation as much as anyone else.
Absolutely.
Even if it's situational.
And the other thing that I loved about that was that Jankum was like, okay, I'm uncomfortable. He acknowledged it. Zero was very accepting of the fact that he was uncomfortable, and then it allowed Jankum to make the jump of, how can I help? Getting back to that, I guess, that theme of helping other people. But I loved how he immediately went into like, I'll just build things, which is who he is. So.
Yeah.
And then the Protostar's fixed.
Woo!
Which was the whole point of the episode.
Yes.
It kind of gets
I
like,
liked.
oh no, we got the stuff, and then it's fixed. It's good.
I liked that the transport enhancing pylons, because those were straight out of TNG. I liked that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And when they managed to, when Burble calls the triples off, the Klingon scientist starts doing the Klingon victory song, which
Yes, I forgot about
which
it.
we
Oh,
heard
yeah.
in
Yes.
Birthright Part 2 in TNG, which I thought was a neat little touch.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Mhm.
good.
We're gonna have a bunch of children singing Klingon drinking songs after this.
Maybe the world would be a better place if children
Hey.
sang Klingon drinking songs.
Hey, I sang Klingon drinking songs when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
too.
Didn't hurt any of us.
Well, that
We're-
remains to be
We're
seen.
we're
Well,
moderately functional human beings, so
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice, which I thought was interesting, is when the bird of prey leaves the planet, it
Mm-hmm.
the wings fold down like it's going into battle, which I thought was
I
interesting.
didn't catch that. I love it.
Like, why? Why did they do that? Because it's
Mhm.
they would only normally do that when they're attacking something, but
Right. I totally didn't catch that. Because he's coming back victorious.
I guess.
He's alone there that whole time. Where's the
Mhm.
rest of his crew? I mean, I feel bad for him.
Maybe
in
he
that.
doesn't have any more crew.
Sure, maybe he
It's
was
just
happy
him.
alone.
Yeah.
But
I mean, a bird of prey is a small ship. Well, there's a couple different classes of bird
I was
of
going
prey.
to say
But
standard
They're-
complement of 12 according to Sulu in Search for Spock. But yes.
right. But there are a couple different classes, and like standard complement of 12 can still be flown by one,
Right.
just not necessarily as competently.
Yeah. Not as efficiently.
It's not like say a Constitution class starship, which you really can't do all by yourself.
No.
You'll blow out the automation system as soon as you try to take it into battle. Obviously.
Let's not forget that Beverly
Yes.
flew the Enterprise D by herself.
Yes, but
in,
she
Mhm.
in that one episode from season 4.
But
Remember
she
me?
did convince Picard that there was something wrong by pointing out that they were the only two people on the ship, and the ship needed
True.
more than two people.
Very true.
Why is there enough room for 1,500 people on this ship if we're the only ones here?
For evacuations.
It's... Like...
Such a good episode.
Oh, that episode, yeah. Yeah, so they get the Protostar drive reinitialized, which ends up screwing up everything, which brings us to the next episode. Cracked Mirror. I don't know why I said it that way.
I was
I don't know why I said
wondering.
that. I was like, Cracked Mirror.
This episode is
Cracked Mirror.
Shattered meets Parallels.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
In fact, I like Chakotay says, I encountered something like this
Yes.
before. I'm like, yes, you did.
It's not good.
It's actually one of the
So
best
last
Chakotay
episode,
episodes
I bet.
in Voyager.
It's one
This
of
is
the
true.
only good Chakotay episodes in Voyager.
Ooh.
I was, being nice.
I wasn't. I'm very blunt. I just early on in the series, Chakotay's episodes are really good, but I feel like late in the series they just
Yeah, except for Shattered, which is late
Except
in
for
the series. And was
Shattered.
still good. Yeah.
Shattered
Yeah,
was good.
I liked. I'm trying to think of good Chakotay episodes here.
Yeah.
I like the one where everybody's falling asleep and he has to fight aliens in his dreams. I liked that one.
Oh,
That's a good one.
yes.
Waking
Yeah.
moments.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was a good one.
And the one with the people that had left the Borg. I can't remember.
Yes. Collective.
Season 4. Yeah,
It was season 3 because it was before they had actually met the
Mhm.
Borg.
right.
Yeah.
Was that
was-
before or after Ponfart B'Elanna?
It was
Because the
just
end of
after.
that is the first time we see.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
we get blood fever, and we see
Blood
the
fever,
Borg
yes.
the Borg skeleton, and then it's either the next episode or not long after that is then Chakotay on that plane. Maybe it's called Collective, but I'm not
I think
100%
it's called
sure.
Collective. Yeah.
And he's on the planet of people that had been Borg but are no longer Borg, but they still kept a collective to like heal themselves and stuff.
Yep,
And
it's Collective.
Yeah, and I thought that was a good episode.
That is a good episode.
He was good. He was good in his scenes with Anorax in Year of Hell as well.
Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
forget about that.
And that scene with Janeway where he replicated the watch for her. That was great. There are some good Chakotay moments in Voyager, but they did not do him many favors with the writing.
Oh, the episode's called Unity.
Yes,
There
that's
we
it.
go.
Okay, well,
remember.
wait a second. I thought there is. Okay.
Was I looking at the wrong one potentially?
Oh no. Okay. Collective is the one with the kids,
The Borg
Yes.
kids,
the
yeah.
Borg kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Unity
I'm
is the one
sorry.
that I was thinking of, where
Unity's
Chakotay
yeah.
crashes yet another shuttlecraft, and
I think I'm just I know I'm
Just
kind of
run out of
bitter about
shuttles.
Chakotay. I just season 7 really upset me with Chakotay of Voyager.
well,
So I think
everything
Prodigy
about
is
yeah.
Prodigy's repairing that wound.
And, well, everything with Chakotay and 7 of 9 I dislike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just.
Also, and I think we can, like, this is an extension of the fact of how good Zaddy Chakotay looks like in Prodigy. Once he started dyeing his hair and getting rid of the salt and pepper, he did not look as good on Voyager.
That's true.
Right. Like we need that seasoning in that hair. Like, come on.
It's a horrible thing to say to a man. I've never understood that. But whatever. Yeah. So, what it made me think of was Shattered Mirror, which was the DS9, one of the DS9 Mirror episodes. Just the title Connections, you know. And then you said Shattered, and then I had to double check myself because I was wondering if I had made something up in my head, but I had not. So
I don't
yeah,
think this is the mirror universe. I think it is a mirror universe because
one of them is.
yeah. I don't think it's the same mirror universe as we get in DS9.
Is it the same mirror universe that we get in Discovery?
Well, it could be.
I was always under
It's
the impression that those were all the same mirror universe.
Okay, so
they're supposed to be, but
they're supposed to be. But
Yeah.
in Discovery, the symbol of the Earth is actually a flipped is a mirror image, whereas on TOS and here in Prodigy, the symbol of the Earth was not a mirror image. But yes, they are supposed to be.
Wow, never caught that.
I did not catch that either.
Go you, and you're attentive to detail.
But the thing that really like makes me think this is not the same mirror universe but yes, Discovery, TOS, and DS9 are all supposed to be the same mirror universe. I don't think it's the same mirror universe in Prodigy because this would have been after the Klingon-Cardassian alliance had defeated the Terrans.
Yeah. But was there anything left of them?
And
to be able
maybe
to
there
build a
was,
ship?
and that's where the comics actually have there's a comic series where they decided to make it so that like basically the Terran Empire had collapsed back to a couple systems around Earth. And that's how they managed to do the TNG mirror universe there. But that's just in the comics. That's not like actual.
Right.
Like, I just
canon.
feel like everything that we see from DS9 would make it so that we wouldn't have a Voyager with Mirror Janeway and Mirror Chakotay in that universe.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting. I mean, I think many of us have griped about not getting any sort of mirror variants of TNG or Voyager, and we finally got something. And to me, it very much kind of echoes. Do you remember the season 4 episode of Voyager, Living Witness, where the doctor has to, like, confirm
Love
for
that
this?
episode.
Oh, it's such a great episode. One of the best Doctor episodes. Like, that was kind of like mirror universe-y with, like, him needing to prove correct that
kind of evil, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I thought it was really cool to see, like, this kind of, this sultry Janeway who was also homicidal.
And also clearly banging Chakotay.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is the ship that we've wanted from the beginning.
Janeway's mirror Janeway and mirror Chakotay's arms. That's the ship we wanted.
The writers in that room were like, they're gonna eat this up.
That's true.
The fans are gonna eat this up. They've been waiting for 25 years for this.
Yeah. I don't know. The mirror universe thing, like, are there multiple mirror universes? Are there only one? Is it?
I suppose if we subscribe to multiverse theory, there are infinite mirror universes. So, because they go through several different realities, and if we look at parallels, how many realities there were there, I think this is just a different mirror universe from the one from DS9, just based on what we see.
Right.
But I love this episode. Yeah. I really enjoy the all the different timelines. It reminds me of, it also reminds me a bit of Face the Strange in Discovery, which was also not going through different timelines, except that one part where it was a different timeline, but that's okay. And I love when we get weird tiny shenanigans like this. I loved the Voyager episode Shattered, and it's very much like that. It's very much like, and we've got traces of parallels, which I know Chrissie doesn't like because of the whole Riker Borg thing, but
my favorite timey-wimey episode of Voyager is a Kespisode, a before and after.
I love that one too.
Love it.
I call them Kespisodes because there's so few and far between. Such a good episode.
Yes,
I would. Yes, I would say that it in much the same way that Shattered is one of the only good Chakotay episodes. Before and After is one of the only good Kes episodes.
It's true. Unfortunately, true.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, not that the Voyager crew's doing much time traveling, but my favorite episode of Voyager is Blink of an Eye, which is also a bit of a timey-wimey episode.
That's a really good episode, too. I think I might need to do a binge of Voyager soon. It's gonna happen.
Do it. Yes.
So we got some other realities, too. Rock and Zero.
We never see Captain Tuvix, though.
I know. Oh, okay, so I was kind of annoyed by that. Like, I was like, don't tease us with Tuvix and not show Tuvix.
Would they have to pay the writer in that case?
Oh,
do they have to pay just to mention? I mean,
I'm
not sure.
There's, I don't remember the details, but it was with it already came up with Picard with Bruce Maddox, and there's certain rules that they don't actually have to.
Okay, so that puts that explanation out the window.
No, it was more that they didn't want to get into that.
Yeah, really. Let's explain that. You think warp drive was complicated? No.
Can you imagine kids going and watching Tuvix?
Yes.
Like that. Ooh, I don't know. I remember watching it when I was a kid, so I can't say anything.
Yeah. Same.
Hey kids,
so
you know how much you like Janeway? You want to watch her order someone to their death?
I still rather die with Janeway. I do.
Now,
no pun intended.
That would be an interesting thing to look at in terms of a survey or a study. Opinions of how Tuvix was handled according to age group when you first see it. If you first encounter it younger, Are you more
So I would say
likely to
actually
think
when
she
I was
did
a
the right
kid
thing?
and
Or
I
vice
first
versa?
saw it, when I was a kid and I first saw it, I didn't question Janeway. I'm just like, oh, Janeway.
Yeah.
Janeway knows what's right. Janeway's.
Yeah.
She's got
I
me.
hadn't. Yeah, but as an adult, I do question Janeway.
Yeah.
When
As
I was
do
a
many of
teenager,
us,
I
but,
questioned
yeah.
Janeway. Now that I'm older, I see Janeway's logic. Although I also kind of wrangle with the morals of like, ooh, living being, you know.
Mhm.
But then again, I think that's what makes the episode so great. I mean, it's kind of similar to
Yep.
the Deep Space Nine episode where Sisko, doesn't he irradiate an entire planet's atmosphere or something, if memory serves me
Yes.
correctly?
Speaking of Michael Eddington, yes.
Yeah, like I think that like when the captains do something so controversial that it's like, let's have some conversation, I think that kind of makes them iconic episodes. So
It's like
Mhm.
I got a friend of mine into DS9 a few years ago, and she texted me. She said that she just watched the episode where Sisko commits a war crime, and I had to
Oh.
reply,
It's like, which
"I'm
one?
gonna need you to be more specific."
And then she says the one where he kills a bunch of people, and you say, "I'm going to need you to be more specific."
And it was this. It was actually for the uniform was the one she was talking
Yeah.
about.
Gotta wait till she gets to.
Yeah,
yeah.
Why can't I think of episode names?
in the Pale Moonlight is the one you're probably thinking
Thank
of.
you, Pale Moonlight.
Oh,
Wait
when
till
he
she gets to that.
convinces or when he enlists Garrick, yeah.
Mhm.
Even Archer did some like very problematic.
Oh
Like I think
boy.
is Picard the only
Similitude.
one
You want to talk
who
about?
didn't? Yeah, is Picard the only one who did not do? I mean, I'm sure Picard did some problematic things too.
Only because Guinan smacked him upside the head.
Picard was
Because
gonna commit
he would've.
genocide on the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
And then you have Kirk, who strongly believed that any society that wasn't developing the way he wanted it to needed to be changed.
Oh, that's cowboy diplomacy. It was a different time. You could do you could introduce diseases to planets that asked you to help kill half of them if they wanted that by sleeping with one of the members of their species. It's fine.
Yeah. So yes, I think all of our favorites are problematic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could be worse though.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anybody. So somebody
Well, I
who's a
don't know.
sociologist do that study for me.
I don't know. Christopher Pike would never.
Would he never? Oh.
Wasn't OG Christopher Pike uncomfortable with women in general?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
they've
that
retconned
was
beautifully,
retconning
but yeah.
if we want to go into nitpicky, problematic things about our captains. I love Christopher Pike, though, so.
And I do love how they retcon that, where they're like, well, I never know how, what does he say? I'm not comfortable with a woman on the bridge, so they retconned it to be like, there should be many women on the bridge.
Yes, which, a phenomenal retcon, like,
Which is
that needed to
hilarious,
happen.
Yeah.
God, I'm trying to think. I mean, he really wasn't given a choice, but he did let them kill that kid. But he really didn't have a choice, to power the planet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he didn't have a choice in that situation, really.
And he was purposefully kept out of the war, which removed potential war crime choices from him.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know on that.
Yeah.
And he did try to push back
watching
against the
season
kid.
3, Pike is gonna, kill an entire alien species or something.
He's gonna maroon some people without their warp drive and be like, what? Jonathan Archer did it. What's your problem?
Jonathan Archer did a lot of problematic stuff in season 3,
Jonathan
which
Archer
the point was that it was a 9/11 allegory, but
Right, I was about to say, reflective of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this Prodigy episode.
early
I got us off
Yes,
on topic.
sorry.
I apologize.
No, you're fine. So they get we have a couple of different. I love how they made each different deck, and I wish we had more time to explore that.
Mm-hmm.
because that would have been fun. Along the lines of parallels, which I don't hate. I just overthink the Riker thing.
Do you know what other episode it reminded me of? It reminded me of that newer episode of Discovery from season 5, where the time bug happens.
Yeah, Face the Strange.
Face the Strange.
Oh, did we mention? If we mentioned that, then my brain is.
That's all right.
That's all right.
My brain.
It's all good. Well, it's when they don't put the titles on the episodes, all bets are off.
Hey, well, they are on the episodes for these, and they're actually listed on Netflix now.
Yeah, so that's something.
Oh yeah, because before it was just like episode 1, episode 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But these episodes do have title cards at least, which is nice.
Yeah. We need to return to that across the board.
Mm-hmm.
But I always thought all shows should have that. But
Yes.
that's me.
I think so.
It used to drive me crazy trying to figure out what the episode titles were for X-Files if they weren't printed in the TV guide because it was inconsistent. They didn't always print them.
Yeah.
Trouble. Anyway.
I just recently got back into my X-Files rewatch.
Ooh. Where you at?
I am in season 5.
Okay. Good stuff. Okay. So we run into outrageous Akana again, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. He seems a bit darker, but
Well,
it's a darker
apparently,
place.
it's a pretty dark timeline that he's in.
And then we, as we said, Rock and Zero ended up on a ship full of Enterpriseians run by Captain Tuvix.
Which makes me wonder: is Captain Tuvix Captain Tuvix actually Tuvix, or is it an Enterprisian being who goes by the name of Tuvix?
I mean, I guess. Did we see anybody that wasn't Enterprisian on there?
No, but we only saw
I thought
like
they
2
were
people.
all. Yeah, well, that's true. Well, oh no, because Majel says that the Vulcan Telexian cuisine. What
That's
we were talking
right.
about earlier.
You're right.
And I mean, I guess you could have somebody who was
The
doing that,
Enterprisians, I could see them doing that, but still, yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice to get to see some Enterprisians again, though.
Yes. I want to see them. I want to see one, like, I don't know, show up on the Academy show. Maybe I guess that would be the best place for them to show
Am I
up.
Am I blanking on where they were introduced before?
Season 1 of
last
Prodigy.
season of
The Planet of Cosplayers.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, I remember now. I really should have rewatched season 1 of Prodigy.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You'll have plenty. You can. It's not like they're not going anywhere.
It's on Netflix.
So, I think my favorite part of this is when Mira Chakotay decides that he's going to interrogate the cute one, and they all turn around and they're like, "Oh no, don't interrogate the cute one. That's a mistake." Murph just wallops him. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So we get all that interaction that we kind of talked about before with Mira Chakotay and Mira Janeway, and regular Chakotay does not have a good time playing Mira Chakotay, as is usually the case with our people. It's hard for them to play evil, and so he gets found out, but still ends up getting to the bridge. We find out that even the whales are evil in the Mirror universe.
That was good. And the whale's a scar on her eye. I thought
that was
cool.
funny.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Oh, that's great. So they get to the bridge. They're gonna tech the tech with the deflector. The looms show up, and everything slows down. And Gwyn has to hit the button, and it looks like she's gonna get attacked. And then she's okay. And then they get back to their timeline, and Janeway and Chakotay are reunited, and JC shippers rejoice.
Oh, it was such a wholesome moment too.
It was.
I got a little emotional.
Yeah. And then maybe this is just me putting too much into it, but I feel like they're intentionally mirroring, and you forgive the term, the interactions of Janeway and Chakotay with Dal and Gwyn.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'm just reading more into it, and maybe that's...
No, I picked up on that too.
Okay. Good. It's not just me.
Am I the only one who thinks the loom are kind of scary?
Oh, you're
They're very
absolutely not
scary.
the only one.
Like, so I'm kind like I think the loom are actually kind of fascinating. And they kind of remind me of those like interdimensional aliens from the Equinox episodes of Voyager, but
Okay,
like
yeah.
on
Ooh,
steroids.
Yeah. You're not a novel verse reader, are you?
I've read
I
some
can't
of them, but
remember.
not all of them.
Okay. You didn't read Coda, though. The one that ended the...
I have not read that one yet.
Okay.
But I'm
There
sure it
is a
has something
lot
to do
of...
with.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of the timelines being destroyed, Wesley coming and saving the day, kind of. There's a lot of Coda in this without it being directly the same thing, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Right.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah, so that's 11 through 15. And a bunch of stuff in between, as is our
11
want.
through 14, actually.
11
We're
through
doing
14,
15 next
excuse me.
episode.
Yes, we are.
I think Cracked Mirror might be
I
one
can
of
do
my favorite
math.
Prodigy episodes, honestly.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
It's an excellent episode. Yeah. Well, anything else we want to discuss about these? Anything I missed?
So, primary takeaways. Zaddy Chakotay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sultry Mirror Janeway. And, really cool Mirror Universe stuff, which we love.
Yeah.
Those are my takeaways.
And we get
It's
to
some triple
see
fun.
Chakotay and Janeway hug.
We do.
Yes.
Finally.
They hugged in other places, I feel like.
I think they
Yeah,
probably
but
did.
like
I think they
this
did,
is
but, like,
this is
this
their
is a
first
different-
time in a while is what I was getting at.
Yeah. That's true. But it's been 10 years for him. What has it been? 2? For her?
Yeah, it's been a bit. I don't remember exactly
Yeah.
how long.
Yeah.
And I suppose it would have
Oh.
been too much to ask for them to, start making out.
In this show, probably yes.
I wonder if the writers were like, okay, especially during the Mirror Universe episodes where they like, how sultry do we make them? Like, what is the range? Like, that's acceptable.
We talked about this in
Put her in a bath with
an
like
earlier
Lieutenant Kira.
episode, but my favorite, honestly, one of my favorite memes that came out of this was Jeremiah, the Captain's Couch, tweeted a screenshot of Mirror Janeway and Chakotay with the caption, "Their safe word is Akuchi Moya."
Forgot about that.
Oh, what a throwback.
That's good. I think that says it all.
I've
And
not seen this.
if
I
we-
need to.
if we gave funny titles to our episodes, that would definitely be it. Well, I can't think of anything else to say. That might be because I spent 4 hours installing an air conditioner. I don't know.
I think we were very comprehensive. I think we covered all the bases.
Why did it take 4 hours?
It wasn't 4 hours. It was 4 hours, start to finish. Went to the store, went and got it.
I'm like,
Had to take out the old one, put the new one in. We had to make some adjustments because the old one was in there kind of wonky and the new one didn't quite fit right. And maybe it just felt like 4 hours because it was 90 degrees and we were installing an air conditioner.
That'll do it.
Or 88. I guess I won't exaggerate too much since Donnie's not that far away and he could correct me.
No, it felt like it was 90.
yeah, it was 97 here today. Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah, that sucks. Anyway, yeah. Donnie, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can listeners find you online? And we mentioned your podcast. You want to plug those? Tell us where people
Yeah,
can
well,
find those, please.
first
And
and
anything else.
foremost, thank you for having me. Thank you for handling my
Always
chaos
fun.
so beautifully. So
You
you
handle
can
our chaos beautifully, so it's all good.
I think we all bask in each other's chaos, and
Mm.
it's fun.
Hmm.
So
Our
you can
chaos feeds off each other's.
There you go.
exactly. So you can find my podcasts, Restitching the Tapestry and Growing Up with Godzilla, on YouTube. You can also find them on various streaming platforms like Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, etc. Currently, I am working on doing my G-Fest recap from the Godzilla convention I went to this weekend, which was really fun. So those videos will be up soon. And that's pretty much it.
Your most recent book?
Oh, I am working on a collection of poems. It's not going to
Mhm.
be done for a while, but I
Oh.
am making some progress.
Good deal. Forgive me, the title of the most recent one has escaped me.
The title of the most recent one is Casting Seeds.
That's it. Yes. So go
Yes.
to your favorite book retailer that isn't
Yeah.
Amazon, but Amazon's okay too.
Yeah, I mean, they're on Amazon, but you can buy them. I mean, you can buy them directly from me if you reach out to me. Or you
Ooh,
could get them through
that's the
Leopard
best
Print
way.
Books. A couple different options other than Amazon for sure.
Yeah. Donnie's quite the poet.
Oh.
All right.
And he even knows it.
He does. He does. And I'm trying to think of a rhymey way to say he's won awards for it, but I don't know. All right. Well, Thad, where can people find you when you're not trying to mock up some Vulcan Talaxian cuisine for dinner?
It would probably involve burritos.
Yeah.
You can hear me on the podcast I do with my friend Carl called License to Spiel. That's license spelled with a C like the British do it. Where we started out talking about the James Bond films and now talk about other TV shows and movies that we want to talk about. You can, if you want to talk to me, best place is probably still Twitter. I am at Tyrannicus. That's TYRANICUS. I use the same name on myriad other social networks. Chrissie, where can people find you when you're not ordering people to torture people?
I'm not usually that kind of person, but lately there's a few I could think of.
Mhm.
Right. Well, in addition, here in Infinite Diversity, you can find me on History with the Szilagyi here on the BQN, and that's that mostly twice weekly short history podcast I do with my fellow historian partner Jason. I'm also happy to chat about our shows on the BQN Collective on Facebook, and I'm on the various socials at the Goddess Livia, where you can see my opinions about Star Trek history and leftist politics. Oh, and I will say, let's see, by the time this comes out, it will be a week and a half ago, but I did do a history with the Szilagys on Hedy Lamarr. So if you want to learn about the
Nice.
woman behind the Lamarr class ships, that is available to you.
The reason we have Wi-Fi today.
Yes. Oddly enough, and I found this out doing the research for it, what she did is closer to Bluetooth. And I don't know what the difference is between the two beyond that, because I don't know, but there was an article that made that a very adamant point about that, so I was like, okay.
It's very similar technology in general, but yes.
It seems like it would be, but I don't know.
They actually, Wi-Fi operates on a bunch of different frequencies now, but they actually do operate on the same frequency, or did.
Okay.
Don't forget all our other great shows on BQN. Here's a recording of Amy Nelson to tell you all about them.
What shows are on BQN, you ask? Well, here's a rundown of some podcasts you might be interested in. All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast covering all of Trek, hosted by Amy, Mark, Christos, Kelvin, and Kristen. Whether you've got Xbox or Nintendo, check out Bargain Bin Gamer, a YouTube show hosted by Davey, a self-proclaimed gamer who specializes in reviewing and showcasing affordable video games. 2 episodes enter the arena, 1 comes out victorious. Join hosts Joe and Kevin, and a guest, as they debate which should win the Batleth battle. Grab your popcorn as you listen to Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast showcasing films you probably missed, but should definitely check out, hosted by Mark and Matt. Don your apron for The Food Replicator, where Matthew eats and drinks his way through the Star Trek cocktail and 3 cookbooks. Beam Aboard Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast covering all of TNG, hosted by Steven. In order to not repeat it, listen to History with the Szilagys, a snippet of historical events from around the world, hosted by Chrissie and Jason. For the newest Trek coverage, check out Infinite Diversity, hosted by Chrissie and Thad. Curl up with a good book and delve into Beta Canon with Peter, host of the online Trek Book Club on Twitter, and his new companion, Trek Book Club podcast. Test your Trek knowledge with Treksperts Quiz, a Star Trek quiz show hosted and written by Davey. Whether you're a member of Starfleet Federation or Planetary Union, go check out Union Federation, covering current Star Trek and the Orville, which we all know is really a Trek show, hosted by Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley. Head over to YouTube and watch The View Screen live on Sundays, your Trek-inspired talk show hosted by Kelvin and Amy, with Season 2 starting in September for a 10-week run. Spill the tea with Christos while he discusses current Trek news and events and explores the world of fandom via guest interviews, all with a LGBTQIA+ perspective on What's the Tea-Bab. And for our Patreon members, we have The Hive Mind with monthly script readings, Let's Fly, a Discovery reaction show, It's Green, a cornucopia of topics, Amy's Math Moments, a quick look at math moments in Star Trek. We know you have a choice of podcasts to choose from, and we thank you for listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Thanks, Past Amy, in an episode with some time shenanigans. And thank you for tuning in to Infinite Diversity. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Mark Waite for the awesome show art. Please subscribe in your favorite podcast player, and don't forget to rate and review us there as well.
If you want to reach out, you can find the network on the socials at BQN Podcast, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the BQN podcasts in our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, and join our Discord server. When you next hear from us, we'll be talking about the next few episodes of Season 2 of Prodigy. Until then, peace and long life.